Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. The love of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money is the root of all evil. I'd rather welcome change than cling to the past. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth in what seems to be an instant. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself, learn something and grow wiser. Don't blame other people for your problems. Workers work hard enough to not be fired, and owners pay just enough so that workers won't quit. As I said, I wish I could say it was easy. It wasn't, but it wasn't hard either. But without a strong reason or purpose, anything in life is hard. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. Learn to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions. Excessive fear and self-doubt that were the greatest detractors of personal genius. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Leadership is what you need to learn next. An intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. If fear is too strong, the genius is suppressed. There is always risk, so learn to manage risk instead of avoiding it. Today, wealth is in information, and the person who has the most timely information owns the wealth. They get up every day and go work for money, not taking the time to ask the question, is there another way? We only memorize historical dates and names, not the lesson. Balanced people go nowhere, they stay in one spot. There is an old cliche that goes, job is an acronym for just over broke. Life is sometimes tough when you do not fit the standard profile. An asset is something that puts money in my pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. Cynics criticize, and winners analyze. Life is much like going to the gym. The most painful part is deciding to go. Once you get past that, it's easy. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or, if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? How can I afford it? Opened up the brain and forced it to think and search for answers. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, but have fun. Most people never win because they're more afraid of losing. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Most of the time life does not talk to you, it just sort of pushes you around. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Financial struggle is often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Great opportunities are not seen with your eyes, they are seen with your mind. When you know you are ignorant in a subject, start educating yourself by finding an expert in the field or a book on the subject. Rule 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability, and buy assets. Today, wealth is in information, and the person who has the most timely information owns the wealth. They get up every day and go work for money, not taking the time to ask the question, is there another way? Guilt is worse than greed, for guilt robs the body of its soul. A job is only a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Remember, the easy road often becomes hard, and the hard road often becomes easy. For winners, losing inspires them. For losers, losing defeats them. Busy people are often the most lazy. Most addictions are attempts to find happiness in people's souls. It's what is in your head that determines what is in your hands. The primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. Failure inspires winners. Failure defeats losers. Poor people have poor habits. The sophisticated investor's first question is, how fast do I get my money back? A truly intelligent person welcomes new ideas, for new ideas can add to the synergy of other accumulated ideas. I always tried to turn every disaster into an opportunity. When you need advice, make sure you choose your advisor wisely. Rich Dad explained to me that the hardest part of running a company is managing people. Often in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead, but the bold. You become what you study. The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money. They spend their lives minding someone else's business and making that person rich. We're all heroes at something and cowards at something else. Having no money should not be an excuse to not learn. Invest first in education. In reality, the only real asset you have is your mind, the most powerful tool we have dominion over. Time is one of your greatest assets. Study hard so you can find a good company to buy. Finding your path in life is your goal in life.